In this video, I'll help you understand the difference between for-in loops and for-of loops when applied to objects in JavaScript. At first, this code may appear complex, but you'll find that it only involves concepts that you've dealt with before. So, let's begin by breaking down what I have. I have a const set to an object and assigned to a variable named car. This object has three properties: engine, steering, and speed, which are given the values true, true, and slow respectively. I also have a const assigned to the variable sports car, and I've used object.create so that it inherits the properties of the car variable. Then I set the speed property of the sports car to fast and save it to the sports car variable. I've also added a console log to display the string, the sports car object, followed by the properties of the sports car object. Next, I have two for loops. The first one is a for-in loop written to log the properties of the sports car object. This is typed as for, followed by properties in sports car in parentheses. Inside of curly braces is a console log for prop, so it displays the properties of the sports car. Before and after the for-in loop code, I've written console logs to print some comments which will be addressed after I run my code. My second for loop uses the object keys method on my sports car object, which should iterate over that object. This is typed as for, followed by prop of objects.keys sports car inside of parentheses. Inside of the curly braces is a console log for prop plus a colon in double quotes and sports car with prop enclosed in square brackets. I've also console logged another comment after this code. When I run this code, I get the output: the sports car object is speed fast. It also displays the comment I had in the code: for-in is unreliable. Let's explore why. From the for-in loop, the console logged values might surprise us. It loops over the property in the sports car object, but the output includes the properties on the sports car's prototype too. Instead of just the speed property, I also looped over the engine and steering properties, which exist on the prototype of the sports car object, not on the sports car object itself. In fact, as the comments state, for-in loops are unreliable in this scenario because they iterate over not only the specified object, but also its prototype. That's why I used a thinking emoji in my comment with the string iterating over object and its prototype. Now, let's examine what came from the second for loop, which is a for-of loop. Note that I output the comment I had in the code for-of is reliable. I've gotten back speed fast, or in other words, the property and value that I've assigned to the sports car object. And just as I have stated in the comment in my code, this is because a for-of loop only iterates over the object's own properties and does not count the prototype at all. Hopefully, you are able to differentiate between the for-in and the for-of types of loops. Let's run a simplified version of the same code without the comments. I'll switch to my other file. This time around, my car object only has an engine property. Then I am declaring the sports car variable and I am setting the car object as the sports car prototype. I'm also setting the speed of the sports car as fast. And finally, I'm console logging the sports car object and looping over prop in sports car and props of object keys in sports car. In summary, the two loops are simplified. I'm only console logging a thinking emoji and the props value for the first loop, the for-in loop. And I'm only console logging a bullseye emoji and the prop and its value in the for-of loop, that is, the second loop in my code. When I run the code again, the result is much simpler. First, I confirm that the sports car object only has one single property, speed, which is fast. Then, the for-in loop displays speed and engine because engine belongs to the prototype of the sports car object and not the sports car object itself. And finally, the for-of loop outputs looping over only the sports car object properties, which in this case is only the property fast. The emojis from my code appear alongside these properties and help us to understand what they mean. And just to sum it up, the speed and engine properties are from the for-in loop because it draws from the prototype of the sports car object as well as the object itself. The speed fast property, however, comes from the for-of loop since that iterates over the sports car object's property only. In this video, you learned that when you run on objects in JavaScript, for-in loops iterate over the properties of the object and its prototype, while for-of loops do this only for the object's properties.